Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. I'm Ann Makovic, and joining us now, 4 special guests in the house. Cesar Millan, you might be familiar with him as the dog whisperer. This is his son, Andre, and this is Junior.
Yep, right here.
And
Benson. Mr. Benson.
Yes.
Mr. Benson.
So we have a full house today. Thank you so much for joining us.
You got the Millan family.
Yeah. Yes. So now, Cesar, let me just ask you right off the bat. You're known as the dog whisperer.
Yes.
Where do you get these skills?
For me, it's common sense. For me, it's just understanding how not to work against the nature of dogs. Dogs need exercise. Dogs need mental stimulation. They really need to learn to practice calmness. Most people like to teach a dog to be excited. So when you are in a situation when you want the opposite of excitement, like this, right? You guys invited us and tell us, hey, can we have the dog on the table? It's an excited dog will be impossible to be on the table.
Right.
So you need a calm state of mind dog, right, to be on the table, to practice that activity. So no matter what breed the dog is what do you practice with your dogs? So for me, it's common sense. Calm dog first, then excited dog.
Okay, because you're saying things like, look at the ball, look at the ball. That's
you want to go for a walk? Who's the kitty?
Everybody loses their
everybody loses. And then the dog loses his mind, and then they call me because they say, my dog has a problem.
Right,
And it's not the dog has a problem, it's the human love to always initiate the relationship in an excited state.
Because they're excited. They have their buddy.
Yeah, but you also have to have a calm friend, not just an excited friend.
Absolutely. Okay, I could see that. What is the most common question you get asked in this gig?
Can I come to their home? Cesar, can you come to my house? No, we're at the airport. I'm on my way somewhere else.
Yeah, a lot of people do need your help.
We need that right now.
Which brings me to your new project is a new show that you're working on, a little bit different than your other projects, called Dog Nation. Tell us about it.
Go for it.
Oh, man. Okay, so Dog Nation is about, well, my job is to not only have fun and be with my dad and teach him as well, because he teaches me and I teach him educational stuff about America and stuff like that.
Yep.
But my job is to teach the younger millennials about responsibility and being a responsible pet owner.
Okay, and that is obviously really important.
Well, so my goal is to help prevent future catastrophic events like overpopulation of breeds, you know, you have stray animals. St. Louis had a big pet puppy mill, so we kind of want to remove all the negativity and bring a positive outlook on America with dogs and pet owners.
We actually have a clip of that show that we can run right now if we're able to.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Hello, Philly. Thank you.
So, Sarah, give us a little bit of insight about my friend here.
So Sox is really rude with food.
Don't let him.
So we're gonna let him finish, but then I want to show you a more preventative way. So this will be the ideal boundary for him to come right there. That's what I call boundaries. So then the mind learned that when food is on the table, he keeps a distance. If you ever want to give food to the dog because he was waiting, don't give it to him here. Give it to him when he moves away. So you're paying when he's moving away. Thank you.
That was actually one of your live shows that you do, these town hall style meetings, which we're going to have in San Francisco this weekend.
Yes, we are at the Bay Area Pet Fair.
Yep. We like to bring people so they can see that what I'm talking about is real, it's not edited. You know, it's transformation, is real. You just have to change energy. You just have to change how you approach, how you communicate. And so we like to do it across the nation. It's something that Andrew has seen his whole entire life. But we want to make sure that people experience that. You know, people are fans, but when they see the show live, they become a believer of how energy influences the behavior of a dog.
Okay, energy and communication, these both seem like big things. Speaking of barking, a big problem for a lot of people when it comes to their pet dogs. What do you have to say about that?
Well, 2 things. Number 1, people like the dog to be excited because they believe when the dog they're doing this, the dog is excited. At the same time, a lot of people don't walk the dog enough, so the stored energy that happens, the dog has to express it in a certain way. You know, so that's why dogs destroy homes, or they steal things, or the neighbors complain. It's because it's too much energy within the body, so it has to come out in some form. So lack of exercise, or often is because the human triggers that behavior You know, so they don't realize they become a source of excitement. So that's why I'm always telling people, first practice calmness, then you bring excitement. You need to have both.
Okay, I'm having a major takeaway on this about the calmness, because I totally walk into my apartment
and feed excitement.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I ramp it right up.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about part of the mission of your new program is dealing with shelters and dealing with problems in the animal community. Obviously, there's so many unwanted pets right now. What would you say to the people who are concerned about getting a shelter pet? A lot of people that I've heard want to go specifically to a breeder because they say, well, that dog hasn't been through trouble yet. These are problem pets that are at shelters. What would you say to that?
Well, for me, is listen, the dogs who don't have problems, the dogs that come from breeders, eventually they develop problems. So it's not the dog.
And then they become a shelter dog.
So I work with dogs who are rescue. I work with dogs who are purchased. And so it's obviously not where the dog came from, it's who the dog lived with. That is very important to take in consideration. So not because the dog came from a shelter, the dog is broken or something wrong with him. What happened to that dog is he was not with the right human who actually was willing to fulfill his needs. So that's why in one of the episodes that we're going to do here in San Francisco, we're working with a rescue organization called Rocket Dog. And so we are going to help this family to go to a shelter and find the right dog that is compatible to them. I'm going to walk them through the whole thing they need to do so they can have a forever home. You know, the dog has a forever home, and the humans know exactly what to do, how to prevent things. Compatibility is key in adoption. So if you think about what happened to the dog in the past, and then you're going to feel a little uncomfortable about what happened, because remember, it's not what the dog chose. He didn't choose to live that lifestyle, right? And every human has issues too. So the dog never says, let me see, do you have issues? I don't want you to adopt me. You know what I mean?
Right.
We come with baggage too. So people have to take in consideration, you know, that our energy, our habits can also injure or damage the relationship human-dog. Yeah, we have to take responsibility. That's why I want this boy to come with me around the country to see it firsthand. So the next generation, he continue this message. It is not the dog, it's the human behind the dog. People love pit bulls. They're afraid of pit bulls, or they just don't like pit bulls. But it's not the breed, right? As the human behind the dog. So here's a perfect example of a Pomeranian being calm and a pit bull being calm with a human that is calm and, you know, leading them to that lifestyle.
Junior is definitely a good ambassador for his breed. And Andre, I got to ask you, what is it like working with your dad?
Well, I was raised around him my whole life, so it's not really just working. It's more of a lifestyle, So, I mean, he's very influential, he's very honest, and he's very instinctual. And he teaches me a lot about that aspect of life, and then I come in and teach him about education, history, and all that other stuff that he doesn't know about of this country. All
right. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great show, Dog Nation. For more information on the show, you can visit CaesarsWay.com. That is CaesarsWay.com. We'll be right back with more Bay Area Focus.